in my role. Daughter of a demon lover, empress of the hidden face, priestess of the pagan mother, ancient queen of inner space. Polarize me, sensitize me, safely restrained. Lightning reactions must be carefully trained. Heat of the moment, curse of the young. Spit out your anger, don't swallow your tongue. Take it out, don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Take it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Natural reflex, pendulum swing. You might be too dizzy to do the right thing. Trial under fire, ultimate proof. Moment of crisis, don't swallow the truth. Take it out, don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Take it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Stick it out, stick it out. Each time we bathe our reactions in artificial light, each time we alter the focus to make the wrong move seem right, you get so used to deception, you make yourself a nervous wreck. You get so used to surrender, running back to cover your neck. Heat of the moment, curse of the young. Spit out your anger, don't swallow your tongue. Take it out, don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Take it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Don't swallow the poison. Spit it out, don't swallow your pride. Take it out, don't swallow your anger. Spit it out, don't swallow the lies. Stick it out, stick it out, stick it out. Spit it out, stick it out, spit it out. It is the fire that lights itself, but it burns with a restless flame. The arrow on a moving target, the archer must be sure of his aim. It is the engine that drives itself, but it chooses the uphill climb. A bearing on magnetic north, growing farther away all the time. Can't stop moving, can't stop moving. that ignites itself and launches its way to the stars. I drive around the busy freeway, racing the oblivious cars. It's a motor of the Western world, spinning off to every extreme, pure as a lover's desire, evil as a murderer's dream. Can't stop moving, can't stop moving, can't stop. You may be right, it's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take, a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase, just a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. Young enough not to care too much about the way things used to be. I'm enough to remember the future, the past has no claim on me. I'm old enough not to care too much about what you think of me, but I'm enough to remember the future, the way things ought to be. Cut to the chase. You may be right, it's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take, a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. What kind of difference can one person make? Cut to the chase. You may be right, it's all a waste of time. I guess that's just a chance I'm prepared to take, a danger I'm prepared to face. Cut to the chase. What kind of difference can one person make? Cut to the chase. I knew he was different in his sexuality. I went to his parties as a straight minority. It never seemed a threat to my masculinity. He only introduced me to a wider reality. As the years went by, we drifted apart. When I heard that he was gone, I felt the shadow cross my heart. But he's nobody's hero, saves a drowning child, cures a wasting disease. Hero, lands a crippled airplane, solves great mysteries. Hero, not the handsome actor who plays a hero's role. tried to bear the agony, tried to hold some faith in the goodness of humanity. As the years went by, we drifted apart. When I heard that she was gone, I felt the shadow cross my heart. But she's nobody's hero, is the voice of reason against the howling mob. Hero is the pride of purpose in the unrewarding job. Hero, not the champion player who plays the perfect game. Hero, not the glamour boy who loves to sell his name. Everybody's buying, nobody's hero. As the years went by, we drifted apart. When I heard that you were gone, I felt the shadow cross my heart. But he's nobody's hero, saves a drowning child, cures a wasting disease. Hero, lands a crippled airplane, solves great mysteries. Hero, not the handsome actor who plays a hero's role. Hero, not the glamour girl who loved to sell her soul. If anybody's buying, nobody's hero. Nobody's hero. There is a lake between the sun and moon, not too many know about. In the silence between whisper and shout, the space between wonder and doubt. This is a fine place, shining face to face. Those bonfire lights in the mirror sky, the space between wonder and why. Ah, yes to yes, to ah, to yes. Why the sun? Why just need a break from the headlong race. This is a fine place, shining face to face, those bonfire lights in the mirrored sky, the space between wonder and why. Ah, yes to yes, to ah, to yes. Ah, yes to yes, to ah, to yes. Why the sun? Why the sun? Ah, yes to yes, to ah, to yes. Why the sun? Why the sun? You and I, we are strangers by one chromosome, slave to the hormone, body and soul, in a struggle to be happy and free, swimming in a primitive sea. You and I, we must dive below the surface, a world of red neon and ultramarine, shining bridges on the ocean floor, burning skin and fireworks, a storm on a raging course. Like a force of nature, love can fade with the stars at dawn. Sometimes it takes all your strength just to keep holding on. At the speed of love, a radiance that travels. At the speed of love, my heart goes out to you. Love is born with solar flares from two magnetic poles, moves toward a higher plane where two halves make two wholes. Like a force of nature, love shines in many forms. One night we are bathed in light, one day carried away in storms. At the speed of love, a radiance that travels. At the speed of love, my heart goes out to you. At the speed of love, nothing changes faster than the speed of love. My heart goes out to you. We don't have to talk, we don't even have to touch. I can feel your presence in the silence that we share. Got to keep on moving at the speed of love. Nothing changes faster than the speed of love. Got to keep on shining at the speed of love. At the speed of love, a radiance that travels. At the speed of love, my heart goes out to you. At the speed of love, nothing changes faster than the speed of love. My heart goes out to you. At the speed of love. At the speed of love. At the speed Where would you rather be? Anywhere, anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but now.
edge of sleep I was drifting for half the night, anxious and restless, pressed down by the darkness, bound up and wound up so tight.
So tight.
So many decisions, a million revisions, caught between darkness and light.
Wilderness of mirrors, full of polished steel, gears and iron chains, turn the grinding wheel. I run between the shadows, some are phantom, some are real. Where would you rather be? Anywhere. Anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but now. Where would you rather be? The doubt and the fear, I know it all disappear. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but here.
On the edge of sleep I heard voices behind the door, the known and the nameless, familiar and faceless, my angels and my demons at war. Which one will lose depends on what I choose, or maybe which voice I ignore.
Wilderness of mirrors, streets of cold desire, my precious sense of honor, just a shield of rusty wire I hold against the chaos and the cross of holy fire. Where would you rather be? Anywhere. Anywhere but here. When will the time be right? Anytime but now. Where would you rather be? The doubt and the fear, I know it all disappear. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but here. Wilderness of mirrors, so easy to deceive. My precious sense of rightness is sometimes so naive. So that which I imagine is that which I believe.
On the edge of sleep I awoke to a sun so bright, rested and fearless, cheered by your nearness. I knew which direction was right.
Was it right?
The case had been tried by the jury inside, the choice between darkness and light. The choice between darkness and light. got to unconditional love. She said, sure, my heart is boundless, but don't push my limits too far. I said, if love is so transcendent, I don't understand these boundaries. She said, just don't disappoint me. You know how complex women are. I'll be around if you don't let me down too far. I'll be around if you don't let me down. It was just before sunrise when we started on tradition roads. She said, sure, I'll be a partner, but don't make too many demands. I said, if love has these conditions, I don't understand those songs you love. She said, this is not a love song, this isn't fantasy land. Phosphorescent wave on a tropical sea is a cold fire. The light in the moonlight on the bedroom floor is a cold fire. The flame at the heart of a pawnbroker's diamond is a cold fire. Look in your eyes as you head for the door is a cold fire. I'll be around if you don't push me down too far. I'll be around if you don't push me down. I'll be around if you don't push me down too far. I'll be around if you don't push me down. Phosphorescent wave on a tropical sea
ugly words. Daddy pounds the wall. They can fight about that little girl later. Right now they don't care at all. No matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say, no matter what they say. Every day